Today, I'll explore how businesses and communities can become partners in progress. Together, they're addressing some of today's most urgent social challenges through collaboration, shared responsibility, and practical action. The central idea is that both sides benefit when they work together. Businesses gain stronger relationships, deeper insight, and opportunities to create meaningful impact, while communities gain resources, support, and new pathways forward. This presentation will examine why these partnerships matter and what makes them effective. Social challenges are not separate from business performance. Poverty, inequality, environmental degradation, and limited access to education all weaken the talent pools, consumer markets, and stable operating environments that businesses rely on. Ignoring these issues can ultimately undermine the foundation of the business itself. That is why standing aside is no longer a neutral choice. The real question is how organizations can engage in ways that are thoughtful, effective, and connected to both community needs and long-term business success. This shift requires moving from passive awareness to meaningful action. A business community partnership is more than donation or a one-time collaboration. It is a structured, mutually beneficial relationship in which both sides work together to address a social challenge. First, they establish shared goals by defining the problem and agreeing on measurable outcomes. Next, they exchange resources. Businesses may offer funding, expertise, and networks, while community organizations contribute local knowledge and trust. Finally, both partners share accountability. Progress is tracked transparently, and each side remains responsible for helping achieve the intended results. This slide presents a spectrum of partnership, from basic philanthropy to deep, systemic collaboration. Philanthropy is one-way giving, with little or no engagement. Transactional relationships add limited interaction, often through event sponsorships. Integrated partnerships go further, bringing organizations together through joint programs and shared staff. Transformative partnerships co-design systemic change, with community voices shaping strategy from the very beginning. The key idea is that the most impactful partnerships move beyond writing checks. They rethink how decisions are made, how resources are used, and how lasting change is created together. This framework identifies 4 pillars that make partnerships genuinely effective. First is alignment. Business goals should intersect with real community needs, rather than using social impact as a public relations cover. Second is trust, which develops through consistent follow-through, transparent communication, and sharing power. Third is capacity. Both partners need the resources, skills, and leadership commitment to deliver on their promises. Finally, measurement keeps the work accountable, using clear social, financial, and environmental indicators to assess progress and guide improvement. Together, these pillars turn good intentions into durable partnership. Businesses are uniquely positioned to address social problems because they bring capabilities that other sectors may not have at the same scale. They can leverage global supply chains and distribution networks, establish workforce development infrastructure, and strong technology and data capabilities. They also have potential to make long-term investments rather than focusing only on immediate outcomes. But scale alone is not enough. The strongest solutions combine business resources with community trust and local expertise, allowing efforts to move faster, reach farther, and remain grounded in the people they're designed to serve. These examples show how partnerships can address complex challenges more effectively than isolated efforts. In workforce development, J.P. Morgan Chase's $30 billion Advancing Black Pathways initiative worked with HBCUs and local workforce boards to build career pipelines for underrepresented communities. In food security, Walmart and Feeding America redirected surplus food to local food banks, reducing waste while addressing hunger. And through TechSpark, Microsoft placed engineers and funding in rural communities, working with local leaders to build broadband infrastructure and strengthen digital skills. The common thread is shared investment and local collaboration. This is more than a social initiative. It's a strategic business case. Social impact strengthens workforce availability, consumer purchasing power, and community stability. Brand reputation matters too. Since 76% of consumers say they'll stop buying from companies that treat communities poorly. The numbers reinforce that preference. 88% want brands that help them make a difference, and 63% prefer socially responsible employers. Finally, community partnerships create access to insights that support innovation, while reducing operational disruption risk by 40% in communities with active partnerships. This slide highlights 3 common reasons partnerships fall short. First, power imbalances can turn collaboration into extraction, especially when businesses dictate terms without meaningful community input. Second, greenwashing or performative engagement happens when short-term public relations campaigns are presented as genuine partnership. Once exposed, that can erode trust and create lasting reputational damage. Finally, timelines often conflict. Businesses may work in quarterly cycles, while meaningful social change takes years. Without patience and sustained commitment, even well-intentioned partnerships risk being abandoned before they can deliver lasting results. Building a partnership that lasts is an ongoing cycle, not a one-time agreement. It starts with listening carefully to understand community priorities and perspectives. From there, partners co-design solutions together, commit to shared goals and responsibilities, and then implement and evaluate what they've created. The key is that evaluation leads directly back to listening. As needs change, the partnership must adapt, learn, and improve. This iterative approach keeps the work relevant, strengthens trust, and supports a partnership that can remain effective over time. The key takeaway is that social problems are business problems, because healthy communities support healthy markets. Depth of partnership matters. Transformative, trust-based relationships outperform transactions. And finally, measure what matters. Accountability to meaningful outcomes, not just activities, is what distinguishes genuine impact from marketing.